Yes.
Ok, quiero primero de entrada agradecer a el doctor Leon Jin y Andrea Wen por este regalo que nos ha tenido para el día de hoy, aceptado poder participar con el grupo de 21 hoy en la Bisbal porque tenían muchos intereses y bueno, tenemos este regalo universal, así que muchas gracias al doctor Leon Jin y a Andrea Wen por este momento, así que nada, eternamente muchísimas gracias y de parte de todo el grupo también.
Well, so basically, my mom, Linda, has been thanking you for your time, for being here today, and for, you know, basically for your time. So thank you very much for this.
I'm truly honored to be invited to discuss about God, the universe, and obviously the knowledge book. Thank you.
Se siente honrado porque la hayáis invitado para poder hablar del universo, de Dios, del cosmos y del libro del conocimiento. Bien.
Bien, Alicia, ¿tenemos alguna pregunta para iniciar algo?
Okay, so I think there are going to be like some questions and I will translate them to you so you can hear them well. And
Yes.
so I think she's going to make a question now.
Okay. Bueno, ¿hay alguna pregunta? Porque la
Someone else.
persona parece ser que tenía la pregunta concreta, no ha podido reunirse hoy, ¿vale? Pero vamos a hacer las preguntas que queramos todos, ¿sí? Aprovechamos este tiempo y el que quiera hacer una pregunta. Merichel. No, quería decirnos que no tenemos una introducción. En lugar de empezar a preguntas así, si nos puede hacer un pequeño análisis. Sí, porque como...
¿Sobre quién específico?
Sobre cómo descubrió, o sea, la fórmula de Dios, cómo comprueba la...
Okay, so before starting with questions and things, they are very curious if you could make like a brief or some sort of introduction on how come that you end up discovering God, like scientific proof of God
Sure.
or your work.
Yeah, sure.
Sí.
So
Bueno.
just a little quick background on my ancestry and history is my father's from China, my mother's from Singapore. I was brought up in England for 20 odd years, where I got most of my education, including getting my doctorate in nuclear physics at the University of Liverpool. I then emigrated to the US in 1993, so that's 30 years now, where I now reside. So that gives you a quick overview of my history through life. That history through life has included when I was very young in Singapore, having what I perceive as a third eye, the ability to see the future. I thought everyone had that gift. It was a natural gift that I thought everyone had. But to cut a long story short, I tried to abuse that gift, and the cosmos took that gift away from me. Then in my middle life, teenage life, I got into science, where then I arrogantly thought science would explain everything, prove everything, and that there was no need for God or spirituality. I thought people that went into that needed God spirituality were a bunch of losers. That was my attitude. Of course, my attitude's completely changed now. So in a way, you could say I was correct in saying that God or science could prove everything, because ultimately, actually, science led me to God through the discovery of the twin universe. And that's why a lot of people ask me, why do I do this sign? Well, it's related to the twin universe. So not only did twin universe lead me along the scientific discovery of a single omnipotent consciousness, which is my scientific definition of God, but the twin universe is also the only scientific theory that can quantitatively and qualitatively explain all the cosmic unknowns, such as dark matter, dark energy, missing antimatter, quantum entanglement. In fact, I so arrogantly state that one day I will win the Nobel Prize in physics for my scientific discoveries that explains all these great cosmic unknowns. But of course, the greatest unknown that I explained is the existence of God. So that gives you a quick overview of my history and how through science it led me to God.
Yeah, I mute myself so you don't hear me translate and talk over you. Para que sea más exacto, voy frase tras frase para que no se me pase nada, porque si no, si se me pasa algo importante, tal vez como, ay, no dije eso. Así eso lo hago más exacto. Ay, claro, claro, normal.
¿Alguna pregunta, Alicia? ¿Algo? ¿Inquietud? ¿Francisco?
Okay, so here's one question asking if twin universe are the same than parallel universe. Can you answer that?
And the simple definition is yes, but where there is a parallel universe, so think of a twin that comes out of a
Wait,
human.
can you come back because the audio fall down? Can you repeat? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, simple answer is there are
So the
parallel
simple
universes.
answer is yes, okay? But there is a major difference between a parallel universe and a twin universe, okay? So the analogy I want to state is a human being that gives birth to two babies at the same time, okay? So they're both defined as twin, okay? But as you know, in human babies, there's two types of twins, okay? There's the paternal twins, which means that the two twins have different eggs and different sperm. So they're like two different babies, okay? So those are paternal twins, okay? So that's equivalent to the parallel universe in the sense that a parallel universe are equivalent of two twins, but the two twins can be totally different. You know, they can be boy, girl, they can be totally genetic different. They come from two eggs and two sperm, okay? But the twin universe is more like the identical twin. So as you know, an identical twin is when one egg and one sperm breaks into two eggs and it births two identical twins. So genetically, the two twins that are born are by definition identical because they come from the same egg and the same sperm. Okay, so the twin universe is like the identical twin in the sense that the two universes split from the one cosmos into identical twin. So in this case, the twin universe, one has positive energy and one has negative energy. Okay, so the twin universe are identical universe, identical in everything, so equivalent to the identical twins of human, except one has positive energy, one has negative energy, okay? Whereas a parallel universe just states that there are two universes, but the two universes can be totally different. They may be totally different. They may both have positive energy. They're totally, so it's like the equivalent of the human paternal twins, where there's two babies that come out at the same time, but they're not identical because they both came out with two eggs and two sperm. So hopefully that clarifies the definition of a parallel and a twin universe.
Okay, that was a very complete question. That's pretty interesting too. So she's basically asking about what is the formula or mathematical formula that you discovered that it's actually that proof of God. And she's wondering how we can use that formula in our lives to achieve consciousness or maybe connect more to God. So that was sort of the question. It was a little bit of a, but okay, yeah, go ahead.
Well, obviously the question relates directly to the most important part of obviously the discovery. Now, unless you have several days for me to explain it, it's going to be very, very difficult to summarize, but I will try to summarize it in a simple, quick answer, although like I said to you, the scope of the answering that question fully would take a lot of time, okay? Obviously, you can read the context within the God book, which Andrea has translated into Dios. So the Dios book is the Spanish version of the God book, and that contains a lot more details into how the scientific discovery of twin universe leads to this single omnipotent consciousness, which is God. So I ask you if you want the full detailed explanation, read either the English God book or the DS Spanish book, okay? But the essence of the explanation, which I'm going to try and simplify quickly, is that the twin universe, as I mentioned to you, everything is identical, okay? Which means that in the twin universe, there is the equivalent of Andrea, me, Linda, and everyone else in that room that you're sitting in there. Therefore, that twin universe has our twin also in there. But because the entropy and energy are reversed, they do not look identical. So if you were able to look to the other twin universe side, you cannot recognize, oh, there's Andrea and there's Dr. Ying and there's Linda, because due to the reverse energy and reverse entropy, our twin will not appear as solid individual particles like we are. In the twin universe, our twin will appear as wave-like, okay? Because in physics, there's a phenomenon called duality. Every energy, as you know, energy and matter is the same. Einstein E equals mc squared. It states that energy has this Jekyll and Hyde appearance.
Please go a little bit slower. Please go a little bit slower because I'm like talking over you.
Okay.
Can you go back to the Einstein formula and just talk a little bit slower?
Okay. So Einstein equation E equals mc squared states that energy and matter are equivalent, are the same, okay, in simplistic term, okay? So that means light that comes from, like your projector, is made up, has this duality that it is like a solid bullet or a wave, okay? That is the nature of light, which is energy. Light is energy. Therefore, Einstein says that energy and matter is the same, E equals mc squared. That means scientifically, we are all made up of energy, of matter. Therefore, in this universe, we appear as solid matter. So there's me and there's Andrea in this example. But the twin of Andrea and Leon, of me, in the other universe will appear as wave. Okay, so here in this positive universe, Andrea and Leon appears as particles. In the opposite universe, Andrea and Leon appears as waves. Okay, now, when there are two particles in this positive universe, the two particles are separated, are individual. Therefore, Andrea and Leon have separated consciousness. So we have our own brain, our separated brain. We have our own separate consciousness. But in the negative universe, in the other universe, Andrea and Leon are waves. Now, one of the things about waves, just like sound waves or waves on an ocean, is waves superimpose upon each other. Okay, so in the other universe, Andrea and Leon are actually merged as one consciousness. Okay, but all these consciousness of all the twins in this universe are all merged together into what I define as a single omnipotent consciousness. So we are all part of God in this negative universe, in the sense that our consciousness are all superimposed into one, which is God. Whereas in this positive universe, all our consciousness are separated. So this is Andrea, this is Leon, and everyone has their own separate body, their own separate consciousness. So hopefully that gives you a quick definition of why the twin universe leads to this oneness of consciousness, this oneness of God.
La otra era sí, hablar a la visión de por qué el libro del conocimiento pues, ayuda a la humanidad en este momento. O algo así preguntó Iván, no mira.
Okay, so the other part of the question is how we can implement this knowledge that you give in our daily life to come closer to that other universe, to that other twins, when there's absolute oneness. How can we use this on our daily life to achieve that oneness? How this, provides something to us, just like they are saying, just like working with the knowledge would help us work towards that oneness. How does this also science help us with that?
Okay. Well, as you all know, I was blessed to be invited by the Knowledge Book and Milana to go to Istanbul in 2018 and 2019 to be a presenter, a speaker at the Call to World Peace. During my meeting with Milana, Mrs. Buran Korak, she was instrumental in opening up my conscious mind to the universe. So even though and again, it's not an arrogant statement, it's just a fact, I'm a very smart person, right? So I'm very logical, and I came up with this logic to discover scientifically this twin universe and explain the greater cosmos, okay, and how it led to God. But knowing something is different from applying that thing, right? So, for example, I may know how to cook the world's greatest cuisine because I read it or watched YouTube, so I may know, oh, this is how you can prepare the world's greatest vegan dish, okay? But knowing how to create the world's greatest vegan dish is not the same as being able to actually cook the world's greatest vegan dish. Like your mother, Linda, who is, I tell everyone, is one of the greatest, to my view, one of the greatest vegan cook in this world. And everyone there that is now staying with Linda will, I'm sure, appreciate Linda's amazing cooking, okay? So even though I may know, oh, I have the knowledge of or how this, to make this amazing vegan dish, but the reality, I do not actually can prepare that great vegan dish. With Linda can do that, okay? So that's the same analogy in the sense that I had the logic and the brain power to come up with the twin universe, and it led to God. But like the questioner said, the real essence is how can that lead you to actually God, to actually implement that connected? Well, just like Linda can teach me how to cook the world's greatest vegan dish. Well, Milana, even though I came up with the twin universe, she was able to further open up my conscious mind to use my knowledge and actually for myself. So the question is actually a brilliant question, because it's actually the same process that I had to go through, in the sense that I had the knowledge, but then I had to say to myself, well, what's the use of this knowledge, right? And that's why I'm blessed that Mrs. Bulan Korak and the people at the Knowledge Book took me into their fold and treated me as a loving family and helped me to open up that consciousness and actually apply my knowledge into being able to connect myself to this single omnipotent consciousness, God, that I discovered. Even though I discovered the technology, even though I logically defined it and I could write all the equations that said, well, this is God, this is why it's explained dark matter, dark energy. But I did not have the soul or the love. And it's this love that's the ultimate force of the universe. And that's where I believe the Knowledge Book people have contributed to enhancing my life quality. And ultimately, that is where I believe the path that I am, along with the Knowledge Book people, are there to travel in parallel, in the sense that I bring the logic and the facts, whereas the Knowledge Book brings the love and the conscious awareness, so that we combine our two unified. As you know, I created the one God, one religion, which is to unify religion and science. And that ultimately is how humanity will move forward with both religion and science into a better world. As I said to you, that will help humans to evolve to a higher state of consciousness, an advanced species, which will allow the future human species to explore the outer stars and the inner spirit. Okay?
Muchas gracias.
I think that was a wonderful explanation.
Gracias, Iván, por la pregunta
So
maravillosa.
we're just thanking her for the amazing question.
Sé que ya nos quedan unos minutitos nada más, ¿vale? Porque tengo que
Yeah,
cerrar y
I
de
know.
verdad que ha sido maravilloso ese regalo. ¿Y quieres preguntar?
That's another question, right?
Como hay como la intuición de que hay algo con el tiempo que no consigo entender. Entonces yo sé en todos esos estudios que está haciendo León, el tiempo.
Y la pregunta cuál es, ¿qué
¿Qué
puede explicar qué significa el tiempo científicamente?
Es que
¿Algo muy corto?
Sí, sí. Okay, there now people is very they find this very interesting. So there's a few questions. So one question is just out of curiosity, if in your formula is there an ultimate number that basically like represents God, or if there are many numbers that could actually represent God?
Okay, so I define, to me, mathematics is the foundation of our reality, of our existence. Therefore, there is a holy trinity of numbers. So as you know, there's the Holy Trinity that is so pivotal in the knowledge book. They do it with the triangular representation. Okay, well, similarly, in the organization I have, there exists a trinity of divinity, even in mathematics. Okay, so the three holy numbers are 0, 1, and 2. Okay, so again, let me repeat, there's three holy numbers. Okay, the first holy number is 0, which represents the force of love. Okay, why does that represent the force of love? Again, it's detailed in the God book, the English God book, which is also, as I mentioned, translated into Spanish Dios by Andrea. So if you want the full detail, just get those books. I'll be happy to distribute that freely to anyone that wants it. And I'm sure Andrea will also send the Dios book freely to those knowledge book people that are interested. But the reason why the 0 represents the force of love is if you divide anything by 0, it becomes infinite. Okay? And that is the infinite force of love that binds the two twin universes. Okay? So it's completely unbreakable. In science, for example, particles, there's a theory that all particles, baryonic particles, are made up of gluons and quarks. Okay, again, I'm gonna go technical, but there's a fourth called the gluon, which if you try to separate it, it gets more and more stronger. Well, similarly, the force of love that binds the two twin universe is infinite, and it is represented by the number 0. Because if you try to divide, in other words, if you try to separate the two twin universe, you try to divide it, it can't, because that force is infinite. So it's like the equivalent trying to divide by 0, in the sense you divide by 0 the force of love. Anything divided by 0 becomes infinite value. Therefore, it's an infinite value, and that's why you cannot separate the two twin universe. Okay. The next number, the next divine number is 1. Okay. So that 1 represents God. So to the questioner's answer, yes, God is represented by the number 1, because as I mentioned, there's a single omnipotent consciousness, which is God. Okay. Then the third holy number is 2. 2 represents the twin universe, or the yin yang. If you want to talk about Chinese philosophy, the yin yang is the twin. Okay. So that is the three holy trinity of numbers. 0, which represents the infinite force of love. 1, which represents the single omnipotent consciousness, that is God. And 2 represent the twin universe.
Una pregunta? Okay, we're going to have the last question.
Hablaba del tercer ojo, que no tenía desarrollado, que después ya lo siguieron preguntarles que, por ejemplo, qué debe hacer para tenerlo desarrollado, para...
¿Desarrollado qué? La pregunta
Y él hablaba del tercer ojo, que cuando él empezó, que tenía desarrollado el tercer ojo, pero que después no. Algo
No, lo tenía abierto. Es como tener los canales abiertos. Es como tener los canales abiertos. Lo que pasa es que él ha explicado que intentó abusar de esa habilidad de poder ver en el futuro, y al intentar abusarla fue cuando el cosmos se lo quitó, pero fue cuando era joven. Pero por eso él decía que él pensaba que todo el mundo podía hacerlo, porque en realidad todo el mundo nace con eso.
Todos lo tenemos.
Sí, claro,
Exacto.
claro, claro.
Ok,
Esa era.
ok, hermosa, escúchame, son las 30, solo darte las gracias al doctor Liang y
Okay,
a
so
ti, Andrea,
my mom is thanking you and thanking us
por estos minutos que son
for
maravillosos.
these minutes that you have taken to give this explanation, because it's like a big gift for them,
Poder tener esos
especially
conocimientos a la
in
mano.
this place and on earth to have that knowledge.
Muchas
So
gracias
they feel
a-
very thankful for that.
por este regalo.
And thank you for this
Ok,
gift.
gracias.
And thank you very much for your time. I can let you go, Doc.
By the way, so just to
Por
emphasize,
cierto,
for those that are more interested, as you may be aware, both Andrea, Linda, and myself are member number 5 of the Call to Friendship Association. So we were recently invited and accepted the offer directly from Eugene, who is the chairman of the Call to Friendship Association. When we met with Milana, Mrs. Buran Korak, recently at the beginning of the year, and we accepted that. The reason why I mentioned that is as part of our duties to be member of one of the 12 of the Call to Friendship Association is to do monthly presentation, which we have done. I think we've done up to now 4 or 5 monthly presentation. Those presentation that we delivered includes much of what we discussed here in this question and answer session. So the answer goes into a lot more details, those presentations. So I would request that if you are interested to ask the Call to Friendship Association. I said the chairman is, as you know, Eugene, for those presentation. I believe, in fact, this month's presentation, which was selected and prepared by Andrea, has been selected to be distributed globally to all the Knowledge Book Association around the world. So I believe this coming presentation this month will actually include the presentation by Andrea, which will answer a lot of the questions that we covered also. In fact, Linda will select and prepare next month's presentation. So if you want, you can ask Linda what she is preparing as well. But as I mentioned, if you have a great more interest in what I'm doing and developing on the science side of things, on the God side of things, then you can see that in a lot of the presentation that we are preparing as part of the Call to Friendship Association. So I ask those that are very interested to seek those either directly from Andrea, Linda, or go officially to the Call to Friendship Association, chaired by Eugene, to request those presentations that we have done monthly. Okay? Thank you.
okay.
Muchas gracias.
Okay,
Liang.
thank you so much, Liang. I'm gonna
Thank
let
you.
you go.
God bless.
Someone else,
Love
please.
to all.
Okay,
All right,
regards
bye-bye.
from everyone. Wait. You cannot see them, but they are all over here. So can everybody say hi?
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Everybody want to say hi?
God bless.
Yeah.
Much love to you all. All right? Take
Okay.
care. Bye-bye.
Oh,
Bye-bye.
God bless you. They're sending you blessings. God bless you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thanks much.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.